Guys, do you know how to... Let's go, Jet. Another rep. Do another rep. Let's go. Make sure your form is right.
Amjad, what are you doing, Amjad? Why are you not doing homework, Amjad? Sorry, I was just looking up. Right now, I'm doing a bicep curl.
Amjad, could you explain to me what is moment and talk?
Oh, this question. I know about this. So, when we talk about the moment, it is about a force is a measure of its tendency to cause the body to relate about specific point of axis. Right. So from the action that Amjad just do, which is bicep curl, we can see that the elbow joint is act as a pivot and his forearm is act like a lever. Meanwhile, the dumbbell that he lift up is act as a weight. So the one that need to provide the force to lift up the dumbbell is bicep. So another thing that I can say is, if the dumbbell is farther from the bicep, it will be harder for Amjad to lift the dumbbell because the distance between the bicep and the weight is increased. But if the distance between the dumbbell and the bicep is decreased, it will be easier for him to lift up the dumbbell. So I think that's all for the explanation for the action that Amjad just do, which is bicep curl.
So next up, I'm gonna explain the equation for moment. So the equation for moment is M equal to Rf. M is the moment force, R is the distance between tangential force and the pivot, and F is the force applied. For the calculations, as we can see from the diagram, the weight is 6 kilograms and the distance between the weight and the pivot is 25 centimeters. The pivot, of course, is the elbow. So first of all, we need to calculate the force applied. So the force applied is the weight of the dumbbell. So we use F equals to mg, so 6 times 9.81, and we get 58.86 newtons. Then we key in our values. M equals to Rf. For R, we need to change 25 centimeters into meters, which is 0.25 meters. So 0.25 meters times 58.86 newtons, we get M equals to 14.715 newton meter. As we can see, it is positive, which is for anti-clockwise.
What you did explain just now from Amjad is for lifting up the dumbbell. Now, I will explain the dumbbell going down. Since the dumbbell is going down, the equation and calculation is pretty same with previous one. The only difference is the direction of motion, which is going clockwise. This is because force tends to rotate a body clockwise about a pivot. It acts in the opposite direction of the positive sense. You can see is lifting up the dumbbell is positive and lifting down is negative. Logic shows that pushing further from the pivot produces greater turning force, like pushing a door at the handle instead of near the hinge. This proves the concept of moment through rational observation, not scripture. As the Quran said in Surah Al-Anbiya, verse 47.
ونضع الموازين القسط ليوم القيامة فلا تظلم نفس شيئا.
In the translation, and we shall set up the scale for the day of judgment, so that no soul will be wrong in anything. From this verse, we can relate to moment. The scale represents balanced turning forces. If one side is heavier, it tilts. Moment must balance equally left and right, where force time distance at left is equal of force time distance at right. This reflects perfect justice and fairness. Just like physics requires equal moment to maintain equilibrium.